All right, so my son hit the door. I lost my train of thought. It was part two. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Kind of idea that I'm getting in on it. What is the point, anyways? I mean, fucked up hairstyle. It's just drying. It was dry. I didn't style it or nothing. I don't style my hair. I just let it dry, air dry. Hope it doesn't fall out worse than it does. Because I can't keep gluing it back on, you know what I mean? Okay. Alright, well, that's all. Yesterday I looked like a terminal case. I was going over everything I could to comb through the who the fuck am I? Excuse the language. PG-13. Who am I and why am I doing this shit? And it's like, well, you know, today's a different day, and I just wanted to say, for what it's worth, I can't have the luxury of remaining snug and secure in some kind of a perpetual moment that is unchanged over years because I can't let anybody affect me. I'm constantly rolling with it, and I don't know where it's going to go. But some days are up, some days are not as up. I should be playing more, shortly I will. I just removed my power last week, over the weekend, and I just reset up the drums and have a drum, two or three drum tracks, I think. I got at least two that I kept, for different songs already, and I'm working on music. I'll get to it eventually. I just got to get it done, whatever I'm talking about, to because I like to talk, I like to socialize. I don't necessarily, maybe I've evolved as a head case, maybe, personal experience. I don't have to have an audience or a crowd or a partner or anybody to communicate with anymore. I'm just going to keep rambling on, maybe. That's who I grew up to be. I got enough recollection and enough of a position to work with myself and to have like a one man, not an army, but a one man show. You know, it is my personal perspective, and so I'm enhancing it. I'm challenging it. I'm exploring it. I'm checking out, under the rocks of memories and hurt, and feeling limited and if it's time for me to throw some of this stuff out, I want to know, absolutely, it's okay. I want to know where to start. I constantly reorganize my actual living area and my paper files and what's kept and what's thrown out. Music, I'm always editing, revising, remixing. I am definitely not looking to keep too much of the same dust, layers on, because the furniture. I won't move the furniture, and it's going to have different dents in the floor and shit from not moving the past 25 years and shit. Like, that's in my person. I'm trying to get rid of the baggage. Absolutely. All right, so maybe it's a good thing ultimately, and hopefully, everybody's going to get together somehow. We're gonna make something out of it. We're not going to be a chain gang in the street, throwing bats at each other like those good old days I keep reading about from people on Topics Forum that finally remember when people were being killed for walking through the wrong neighborhood. That's what they called when the mafia was in control back in the 60s, and they're in love with this sick time of life, when people were yeah, it was safer. We got to live in our apartments, in our houses rather. We owned our houses more often than not in our manufacturing job lifestyles. And all these things, and these and people got their kids to raise their kids. They got the privilege to raise their kids relatively unscathed in Utica, New York in those eras, 60s. I am a grandson product of that era, that's how close I was. And I remember even in the 70s, it was a trickle down, that's that Mr. This across the street or Mr. That next door. And there's the kids, and they're my parents' age, and, and it was, who, you know, so I remember how safe it felt and everything. Yeah, okay, it's if you were of it. If you weren't, your ass was grass. You were around the block. What are you doing here? You know, it was like the kids put it on the other kids, and the parents did the same. Then when they got to the sand lot, the parking lots, you know, it was like a gang mentality, and all it was two families trying to have a picnic on different sides of the baseball diamond. That's all it was. My kid's got a right to play with the swings just like your kid. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. We've evolved more than that, I hope. I mean, we didn't get too much further, okay, but we did do some things that you know, challenged the more ways, and hopefully it got better. Hopefully, you know. I realize the dinner bell's not going to be rung anytime soon about legalization of marijuana, and we're going to have a big keg party for free beer, and everybody's going to be barefoot in lily pads and around Proctor Park like it was even in the early 80s. Everybody was getting wasted, and everybody would park their cars on the grass, and everybody would throw a frisbee, and the radios were going everywhere, and everybody was, you know, passing wine bottles around and liquor and whiskeys and beers, and those days are over. Those days have been long over, and they'll kill me if I ever get into a place that way again. I'm sure they exist around the world and around the country, different regions. You know, and that's what people are trying to preserve. You know, they're trying to preserve their ability to have that liberty. But for Utica, for who I am in it, you know, I understand. I saw some good times. I remember when Live Aid was playing on the radio, and that was one of those parties at Proctor Park. It was sunny, it was beautiful, and then I ended up setting up drums for my Uncle Dennis, who had a gig that day. And he played at some kind of an outdoor thing, and I had to go with him and set up his Green Pearls drum set. The day of Live Aid, for example, those were the days, man. Everybody was just, it wasn't just criminal, and you know, there was no such thing that I saw back then. I fondly remember of you know, meth heads and crack and all that prostitution shit and all that crazy shit, all that cutthroat shit, all that real lethal shit. Guns. People didn't have guns. What the hell are you talking about? So I'm still in the concept, though, you know, that things are different, and that echelon of American pie, it's probably over. You know, that's not going to be the music industry anymore. I just hope it evolves a little bit more closer to better situations for more people to enjoy it than watching American Idol. I hope that. I hope it's a lot better than Who's Connected enough to get involved for an audition and actually keep going. Because it isn't all about talent. No, it isn't. You know how many millions and millions of people are playing and singing and creating art and music and never get the opportunity to even some character defect or some security clearance or some bullshit, something happens in their life to make them feel like they're inferior or not capable of going through an audition, waiting outside from 4 in the morning to go in the rain to go sing at 4 in the afternoon. Who the hell in their right mind wants to do that? What drives somebody to want to do that? Well, when you're young, you do that. When you're young, you got your name to make for yourself. You're making your own bones. Good for you, but when there's a lot of people that's got nothing to do with it being an entertainer. There's a lot of people who are just trying to say something for themselves through an instrument, if possible. That's what they're doing it for. They're doing it for the high. They're doing it for the reason why they want to feel good about what they're doing. They want to feel it while they're doing it. That was my son Tyler. He gave me a video called Operatic. Can I Play with Madness or something? And there was a line in this song, a new band called Operatic, on YouTube.com. A video, and they were like a little, alternative band, kind of thing, which was cool. It was genuine, it was a genuine effort, and they had this line in the song. It was like, I just wanted to sing So I want to sing just so I can see how it feels. And I thought that was awesome. You know, that's all I'm going. That's all it is, man. For a lot of us, it's in the moment. I have a quick, fast comment. I'm gonna get this over with. Is